Yeah, hello YouTube scrappers. I'd come and make another video today. I hope everyone had a good Christmas. I did. And I thought I'd show you this little air compressor that I picked up. Load of scrap I brought in. It was a heavy load, a lot of little short iron pieces. It was 2 weeks ago. The brother of that guy that gave me that Pepsi machine in that one video, when he gave me this, he said it works. The only thing is down here, about 3 coils in or so, there's a split. They said it works, but other than that split, he said it'll run just fine as long as you plug it into a receptacle. He said, but if you try to run it off an extension cord, it won't work. So, of course, the thing's got about a 9-foot cord on it. Probably work great for airing up bike tires, wheelbarrow tires, something small. You could probably put if you had a little compressor with a tank, you could probably put it on a tank, but without having a pressure shut off, which I imagine you could probably maybe hook one in here somehow. But you can see it's running. Yeah, I feel the air blowing. Got to isolate it. Anyway, not going to waste any time on that, but just thought I'd show that to you. It's a Devil Biss, D-E-V-I-L-B-I-S-S. I guess that's an I, might be an L. Well, the I and the devil and the I and Biss looks the same, so I don't know if you can see that right there or not. So that's something I can toy with. I've got another hose like this around here somewhere. Of course, I can always use these brass fittings. I think it's the same one I use. I can find out real quick. Grab this blower. No, maybe not. Nope, that's a different style. Not a problem though. Okay, let me get that out of the way for now. Trying to figure what I wanted to do a video on. I got all these motors down here I need to break down and chisel down. I got a little lamp there to pull the cord off of. I got a bunch of stuff out there, aluminum breakage, that I need to get cleaned up. Here's another one of these little deals with all these security fittings and everything. This might have been one my wife used or something at one time. Got a couple of these little copper pieces here. Yeah, I guess I'm in view. I'll tilt this down a little bit more. Yeah, this thing here, it's probably got, I bet it's got some copper in there. One of those things I'm not real familiar with, so it's just experiment with it. And I probably have to take a hammer or something and break it apart. So I don't know how far I want to go with this in this video. Yeah, I can see the metal right there, so. And some guys, they swear by a hatchet. So I think what I might do, I've got a hatchet over here. Latch that down good and tight. Yeah, that didn't really do much. I probably have to put it down on a solid surface. Yeah, I'm afraid to hit that with, hold it with my hand. Don't want to give it a good whack anyway. And one way that's always safe is I got a few old wood chisels around. Let me just drop that down all the way there. That way it's against the solid bottom of the vise. You're getting another sprinkle out there. It's been raining most of the day. I thought it was going to be out of here by 2 o'clock, but here's a little after 4 and getting a little sprinkle here and there. There, a chunk came off. Didn't really expose anything. Yeah, I'm not getting anywhere with this right now. I'll play with that later and figure out what I'm doing, and then I'll find another one and show you. Which I've got a few of these pieces from motors. I know some of you guys are new, so I'll show you how when I get to those. That's usually where I use one of these wood chisels. Wish I could use my air chisel too, but that's a little overkill. So if you got an old wood chisel laying around that's got nicks in it, you can take it to your bench grinder, sharpen it up a hair. I think I got one of these where I was tearing it down on one of my early videos. One thing I like using a lot of times is use ice cream buckets. Yeah, I like ice cream. I like popcorn too. Yeah, if you like my videos, find them interesting, go ahead, please subscribe and comment. I'd like to hear from you guys. Just got a little bit of wire here. Usually these real short wires that probably too short for stripping. I got a bucket over here that I throw them in. These are so fine, though, I might just throw them in this low-grade bucket. Another thing I do a lot of times is these little pieces of copper right here. A lot of times I'll try to get those out too. So, you can see I've got another chisel up here, if you can see it. Yeah, I think you can. Well, let me see. Need a helping hand. These come in handy sometimes. It'll hold it for you. Okay, put the flat side on there. There's a little piece of copper. I'll go ahead and cut this other one off. Move it inward. kind of handy, just jumped off of there and fell right in the trash bucket, except for it's got a little bit of metal in it, so I really probably want that in my tin bucket. Okay. I think I bent the whole thing on that one. And it didn't get cut all the way through. Well, anyway, you get the idea. I probably should have cut it on the thin side instead of trying to cut it right there where that wad was. Cut them, pull them through. There's not a lot of copper there, but it all adds up, right? If you got the time. Some people, they'd be losing money doing this because they have other things to do to make good money. So if they're fiddling around with this, my stepson used to helped me years ago, and he would be let's see, he'd be playing with something like this while I was tearing down a motor. So I'd be doing a motor with 2-3 pounds of copper in it, and he would be doing a motor with 2 grams of copper. But I was splitting everything 50-50 with him. No, I'm not going to do that one. You saw how I just did the one. So I got these I need to clean up. A wigwag out of a wash machine. This one's got 2 inlets, 2 of these little pieces. I'm not sure what you call the little things. And this one's got a single one, so this probably either came off a dishwasher or a refrigerator with an ice maker. Well, I don't have my drill in here. Okay, that's 1/4 inch right there, so. Clean these couple items up real quick. So there's a couple. That's probably about 4 ounces of copper there. Yeah, I started cleaning these little brass deals up. Of course, Christmas Eve and Christmas, we were in like upper 60s, about 70 degrees. Very nice weather. So I tried to spend as much time as I could outside in the yard, getting some areas cleaned up, and brought in some dirt and filled in a low area. Moved my tin trailer back a little bit. Yeah, probably can't get the leverage I need with that. Yeah, that one's trying to get away. And these just pretty much pry the sides off if you can. Always seems like one wants to break loose at the top, one wants to break loose at the bottom. Like I say, I took a break from scrapping for about 4 years while I was on night shift. Well, it wasn't a total break from scrapping, I just got away from a lot of the small stuff. Push mower, stuff like that, and was doing junk cars. I found out here in Oklahoma, if you had a farm tax number, that was an exemption to having to have a title on the vehicle. Of course, I'd always run the VIN numbers and make sure they didn't have lanes. There were a few I got called out on that did have lanes. Some of the people had it paid off, they just never took the lien release down to the tag agency and had the title updated, so they had to get a hold of the loan company and get a release. So I'd have the right paperwork for the scrapyard. Then a year ago in November, Oklahoma passed a law where you had to have a certain document, and you could get it from the tag agency. You can make all the copies you wanted, but that document had to be filled out by the person whose name's on the title, and then you had to go down and pay a $4 processing fee. I talked to one of the scrap yards about that, and they said they went from like 50 cars a week down to 10 when that law went through. So, you know, like me, a lot of people, they just said that, you know, that's too much red tape. So a lot of guys are still hauling the cars, but I quit running my ad. I probably should go ahead and do it. What catalytic converters are doing right now, I hear they're doing real well. But pretty much if I get a junk car, I'm pretty well stuck cutting that sucker in half. A little while back it was $40 a ton for scrap, so you know, a small car is a ton and a half. So if you get $60 for the car, most people want at least $100 for their cars. And like, even when I was doing the junk cars, I tried not to really count the catalytic converter as profit, for the main reason you couldn't guarantee there was a cat on there, and then if you could get to it to cut it off, some of them are almost impossible to get to. And sometimes you get them off of there and find out they're aftermarket, and you get a whole $3 out of them. So I always considered the cat as a bonus and not try to figure out, you know, automatically figure I'm going to make money off of that. Now Dan from K&D Scrapping, one of the guys I watch, he was saying you just take these things and just put on your vise, whack them with a hammer. He said sometimes they might break down a little easier if you put them in the freezer overnight or for a couple days and get them frozen, then they'd be nice and brittle. This one doesn't really want to do much. I should probably be holding that with vice grips. It'd probably work better. I'll try going end to end. Yeah, one of these days I'm going to fix up a different vise. I like this because it's portable. I can take it where I need it. And as you can tell, my workbench here is really too small to put a bench vise on. It's not like I don't have them. I got this big herky thing right there, and I got a nice 6-inch there. That's probably what, 6 or 8. Grab a tape measure. Yeah, that's a 5-inch. That's 5. They're both 5. That's got a nice little anvil on it, and that one's got a big anvil on it. It's just they don't tighten up super well. I always got to use a cheater. But well, I was going to try to show this. For those that don't know, these things are full of copper. trying to get a hold of that and it doesn't want to come out. Sometimes doing this stuff, you just got to experiment. Try it one way, then try it another way and see which way works the best, the easiest, and for what tools you got too. Seems like everything I'm trying to show you is nothing's working out like I planned. Yeah, the centerpiece kind of looks like it'd come right out of there. Yeah. Let me get my little drill press vise over here again. Get this ice pick, see if it does any good. It doesn't look like it's going to do anything. I hope this is in the view. If I'm getting my face real close where I can focus in with my glasses. Anyway, maybe I should tear something else apart. One way I've showed people to do these in a video I did a while back, which I like how Dan did it. It worked out real good. But I was just getting close to the edge there, cutting it with a hacksaw. So those people starting out, hacksaws are pretty cheap. And losing a little bit of copper there, but yeah, I didn't cut through too good on that side. See if I can pop that out or something. Another way you can always do it is wire cutters. Okay, we'll get the trash out of there. And once you get the end open, you just pull it on out. And a lot of times if you got slow time in the winter, part of the reason I don't run my ad, part of the reason I don't run my ad in the winter is my time to do projects around the house and around the yard, catch up on stuff I brought in. So a lot of times I get so busy bringing it in, I don't have time to tear it down and clean it. So I run an ad, and that ad goes out kind of far and wide. Anybody that knows the Oklahoma City area, I'm out here in Blanchard, and I'll get calls out on 240 and Anderson Road, sometimes just for a single refrigerator. You know, that's 50 miles away. So, summertime I can, you know, tell them I'll get back with them in a few days or a week, because I'll have more calls out that way by then. But in the wintertime, that's another story, so to keep from getting those calls, September, about October, which I didn't really do too good in October this year. September was real busy. Of course, that was the first month I really started running the ad again. And when I did this appliance and general scrapping several years back, I had other competition running ads too, and their ad was always placed before mine, but I stayed hooked up pretty good. I think they were more up by the city. Now, I don't really have a whole lot of scrap out there right now, so I'm just taking my time with it, getting the projects done while the weather's good. and working on some little piddly stuff that really probably wouldn't even be worth putting in a video. Now there's still a little bit in there, but it's pretty well glued to the side. Now you could probably take some, I got some tin snips there, but they're not going to fit inside. Scissors might. This video's already getting kind of lengthy. Yeah, I don't think these scissors want to cut it. Probably have to take a box knife, put it in the vise or something. If you want to really take the time to get every little bit there. Just going to show you on these. These come off of your barbecue grills. If you want to break it down as much as you can, you got a brass fitting here. This piece here is possibly brass. Yep, it's brass. So a lot of times what I'll do, I'll cut it right there. Now you can cut it lengthwise here. Well, let me go ahead and show you, because I don't think I'll use this for anything. So lock it down in this vise. Keep the safety police happy. And get a little die grinder. A couple drops of oil in it. Flip it over. Yeah, right now your money's in catalytic converters, and next to that be your copper and then brass. So that's how I clean that up. Now you can pick these up. This I may have gotten from Harbor Freight. I really don't remember. I've had it a long time. Takes a little bit, a 3-inch cutting wheel. I got a whole package of the discs. I may have got these online. It said 50 pack. I might have got those off of Amazon. So you saw how easy that was. Got to give you something useful in this video for those of you that are sticking with it. A lot of people drop out pretty early. Actually, I shouldn't even be doing this other one right now, just for the sake of air time. Yeah, put off on that. Okay, that was a 11/16 wrench that took that off, and now this same thing here. I just got to find a way to tighten that down. Well, I thought that was 11/16, but It's not quite wanting to work right, or I just haven't got it. Yeah, that's stripping. It might be metric. There it goes. Didn't like the box end, so that box end maybe wore out. But that came right off. Both these pieces are brass. Yeah, my bench grinder's on a little pedestal too. Yeah, that looks yellow to me. I got a couple ice picks up there that come in handy, but then I got this little one right here. Right here on this thing, you got a little rubber washer. Got that off. Now it's clean brass. This is clean brass. Okay, a couple pieces, which I still got the other piece on that hose. .7 ounces, almost 4.5 ounces. Yeah, it adds up. As you can see, my brass bucket's getting full. It's probably got a good 20 pounds in there right now, maybe more. It doesn't take much. I think it's heavy. Well, I think this video is getting longer than I really wanted it to, so I'm gonna go ahead and end this thing. So if you enjoyed it, even though half the stuff didn't work out too well, please subscribe, share it with your friends, leave a comment. If you got a better way to do some of this stuff, you know, go ahead and share it with us, because the way I see it in the scrapping we teach each other. Yeah. I don't think anybody on this would be direct competition, and if they are, well, you know what, that doesn't matter. I got a couple of friends that that scrap, and sometimes I get too busy. I send some of the business their way. So anyway, please leave a comment, and I'll try to get another video out maybe this next week. This is Saturday afternoon right now by the time I go in there and process this video, because the GoPros, they like putting in about 4 gigabyte chunks, roughly about 17 minutes per chunk. So then I got to take it into the video editor, put it together, and I'm recording in 1080p for those that know what that is, and it takes forever to upload, which I'll convert it down to 540, and it still takes forever. So thanks for watching, and until next time, you guys stay safe, and Happy New Year. I hope, you know, like I said, I hope you had a good Christmas, but Happy New Year, folks. That's just a couple days away. So you take care. We'll see you.